Very good morning, students. Today we are here to discuss small concepts in Unix. This is our session number 7, and probably with this session, I'm expecting that we are going to complete 2 units. As because uh, the first 2 units of Unix are mostly contain the commands, and we have discussed till now a lot of commands, and few commands are yet to come, which will be discussed in shell programming. And today is the only small session, uh, which will be followed by any questions. If you have, there will be an interaction session. So whatever the doubts till now you will have, you can type in the comment box so that I can answer them if you have any. Otherwise, no issue. Okay. And today we will continue with the class. And today's our topic is giving multiple commands. See, till now what we have done is we have executed a single command at once. That means whatever the command you are giving at the command prompt is a single command. So we are given the command, and we have seen how the command is executed and what the output it is giving. That is the things we have observed till now. And in Unix, it also supports giving multiple commands at a time. So you can give any number of commands on the command prompt, and you can use any three of the following options with them, so that whatever the desired output you require, you can execute it. So combining two or more commands on the command line is also known as command chaining. So whenever you are putting two commands together or two or more commands together, it is called command chaining. Okay. There is another concept in Unix, that is piping. Piping is nothing but taking the output of one command and putting it back to the as input to the other command. It is called piping, but that concept is different. But this is the concept which we can use several commands at once at the command line. So for that, what you can do is you can use three options. The first option is semicolon operator, and we will discuss in the next slide how it can be used. And similarly, the logical AND operator, we have used these logical AND operators in the C language also, or any other languages we are using them. And similarly, the logical OR operator also you can use. And these operators, semicolon, as you know, semicolon is denoted by a dot followed by a comma, that is the symbol, and then ampersand symbol, double ampersand for logical and two vertical bars for logical OR operators. We will see one by one how they can be used. Let us see. So the semicolon operator. So the operator allows us to execute multiple commands in succession. That means you can give any number of commands, and remember one thing here, that those commands will not depend on any other command, so they will be executed individually. So for example, here we have taken three commands like ls, pwd, and who am I. So we know what is ls can give us. That means the list of all the files in your directory will be displayed by using the ls command. Then pwd is nothing but present working directory, which will be displayed next. Then who am I, that means the user's names, or if you are using any application, the username will be displayed. So these three commands can be executed concurrently. That means all the three commands you can give at the command prompt at once, and you can separate them by using commas. And one more important here, the point you need to note down is you don't have to put spaces between the semicolons or the commands. So you can give directly ls followed by semicolon followed by the other command, then followed by semicolon, then followed by other command. Like that you can do. So as I said, first ls will be displayed, the output of the ls will be displayed. In the next line, the pw, that is the present working directory, will be displayed, and then it will be followed by the who am I output, that is the username, will be displayed. So there will be no spaces will be there between those outputs. So you need to carefully watch what is the output of the remaining two commands. That is the important thing you need to understand here. And then the second option is the logical AND operation. So as we all are aware of that logical AND operator is used when the first command is successful, then only the second command will be executed. So that is, whenever you are going to combine two commands with the logical AND operator, what they will do is, if you, as you are giving two commands, if the first command executed successfully, then only the second command will be executed, else the second command will not be executed. That is the specialty of this logical AND operator. So a best example we can see here is, we are doing what we are doing here is, say for example, the first example is mkdir my folder. What is mkdir? Mkdir is nothing but we want to make a directory with the name my folder, and then once the directory is created, then we want to change to that directory by using the cd my folder command. So what happens here is, whenever mkdir my folder is created, then only the second command cd my folder will be executed, because as you know that without the existence of the my folder directory, we cannot go into it. So that's why we are giving ampersand symbol here. So mkdir my folder and cd my folder. So whenever the my folder directory is created under your directory, then only you are able to change to the directory. So such type of cases you can use logical AND operation. So other example I can give here is cd csc and rm star. So what is cd csc? So if there is a directory with the name csc in your directory, so what you want to do is, you want to change to that directory. So you can directly change to that directory. Then what I am doing is rm star. Rm star stands for remove all the files and folders in your csc directory. That's what I want to do. So whenever the cd csc command is executed successfully, that means whenever you enter into the csc directory, then only the rm star command will be executed, else the rm star will not be executed. That is the thing, because for sometimes the csc directory may not exist in your present working directory, so it will not the command will not be executed. So then the rm star will not be executed. So in this type of cases, you can use the AND command and you can run it successfully. And the next one is here, see, so the font is changed here. Okay, no issue. So I am here using OR OR logical OR operator here to combine two commands. So this is a little bit dangerous command. You need to use it very carefully, because in the previous case what happens is, whenever the previous first command is executed, then only the second command will be executed. But in this case, irrespective of the first command is executed successfully or not, this can be the second command will be executed. So here I am using, say for example, ls2 wait one second. So ls say 2, then vertical bar rm2. Here 2 is nothing but a file. So what we want to do is, I want to display the file ls2 by using a simple meta character. That is nothing but a simple meta character type of displaying here I am doing. Okay, so ls2 means we want to display the file 2, not the contents, only the file name will be displayed by using ls2. Okay, so don't think that ls2 will display the contents of the file 2. Okay, only you can use cat command to display the contents of the file. Here whenever you are using ls, when you use ls, normal ls, that means all files and folders in your directory will be displayed. But whenever you are using ls with a file name, then that file name will be displayed on the screen. So here what I am going to do is, ls2 means I am going to display the file 2 on the screen. Then what I want to do in the second command rm2 means I want to remove that file 2. Okay, so see, in this case, whenever the ls2 command is executed or not executed, if at all ls2 may be there or may not be there in your file. So it will shows if the file is not shows, it will shows a error message that file not found. And similarly rm2 will be executed even though the file 2 is not there in your system. Then again what it shows, it shows file does not exist. rm2 if you execute, it shows that file does not exist. If 2 is there in your directory, then what happens, the 2 will be displayed on the screen, then followed by it will be deleted by using rm2. That is the case here. Okay, another example I want to show you using rm is, wait one second. So if I write like this cd csc, one second. So I am, say for example, I am in say directory with my name, so Kishore. I have some files like f1, a directory d1, f2. Say for example, I have my directory name is Kishore. Under my directory I have, say for example, 2 files and 1 folder. So that is f1 and f2 files, and then a d1 folder. Again this d1 folder contains some files, say f3 and f4. Got it? So see the example carefully, it is very important. Now I am under my directory with my name Kishore. Under my directory I have some 3 things. What are the 3 things? One file f1, one directory d1, and another file f2. These are the 3 files or 3 things I am having. And under this d1 directory I am again having 2 files, f3 and f4. So here when I am working under my directory, if I use a command like cd csc, then logical OR followed by rm star. So see the example carefully. When I am using this command cd csc and a logical OR symbol, then rm star. So here what happens is, when you what is logical OR operator? Whenever the then I mean irrespective of the first command executed successfully or not, the second command will be executed. That's what we have understood. Okay, now so if suppose, see cd csc I am writing here, but what is the thing is, I don't have any csc directory under Kishore folder. So what happens, this command will not be executed. So if this command is not executed, then what happens, rm star, what is use of rm star? It removes all the files. That means it removes all the files of Kishore, that is f1 d1 f2 will be removed. Okay, but before removing d1 it will ask whether to remove f3 and f4, but f1 f2 will be removed for sure. Okay, that you need to understand. So while using this OR operator, you need to be very careful, because the first command may or may not execute, but the second command will definitely going to be executed if it is proper command, right? So you need to do carefully here, even, right? Because here our intention is not to delete the file f1 f2 d1, but our intention is to what? Our intention is to delete the files in the csc directory, but csc directory is not there. Okay, if csc directory is also there under my directory, then what happens, the by use of this cd csc command we will move to csc directory. Then if at all any files are having by this csc directory, those will be removed. That is the intention of our intention of this command. But whenever the csc directory is not there, because it is not executed, then rm star will be definitely going to execute, because it is logical OR, and with the help of rm star what happens, these f1 files and f2 files will be deleted, and d1 file it will ask, or it will gives a message that the directory d1 is cannot be removed because it is not empty, because it is already having f3 f4. That is the thing you need to understand here, right? Okay, then we'll move to our next concept is links. As we have seen links concept in previously, that is by using ln command we are going to create some links, and ln command, the links created by ln command we can only create links to files, but we cannot create links to directories. Similarly, by using ln -s, that is the symbolic link concept, by you can also create links to the directories also. That is the thing. Okay, So that is the same concept here also we are going to discuss, that is soft link and hard link. The links which are created by ln command are called soft links, and the links which are created by the links which are created by using ln minus s is called soft links or symbolic links, and the links created by ln is called hard link. So what is this hard link, what is this soft link, let us understand. See, you can concentrate here. If we have a file, say for example a.txt, that is a text file, if you create a hard link to the file, then you can and then delete the file. I mean, if you are having a file a.txt and you are going to create a hard link of the file by using ln command. So whenever you are going to create a hard link to the file a.txt by using the hard link, that is by using ln command, even though the file is deleted, we still access the file using hard link, because we are having another link to that file, we can access that. But the same thing if you do with ln minus s, that means you are going to create a soft link. So whenever you are going to create a soft link to a file, if the file is deleted, you cannot you cannot get back the file by using the symbolic link or soft link. That is the major difference between these two. Okay, so that is the important thing. So you need to understand here two things. One is the hard link which will be created by using ln command, and the soft link which is going to be created by ln minus s. This also we studied soft link as a symbolic link. It is a normal link. Okay, and another important thing is, by using ln, that is the hard link, we cannot create hard links to directories. Only we can create hard links to files. We cannot create hard links to directories. Okay, and that is the thing we have discussed today. We cannot create hard link for a directory. So here one more concept is there, that is inode. What is an inode? See here, each hard link file is assigned the same inode value as the original, therefore they reference the same physical file location. That means, so we will discuss what is this inode number in the next slide. Before that, you need to understand is, for every file which is created under your directory or under your system will be assigned a name, as we will give the name of the file, and similarly at the same time the file will be also given a number, some number, say 136. So this number is, I am taking an example, this 136, it may be different. Okay, so this 136 is nothing but the inode number of that file. As in C language we have studied that there will be a pointers concept. I think you are all aware of that. What is a pointer? A pointer is used to store the address of a file. So similarly here also, all files will have an inode numbers. Those inode numbers are very important for files, because the system, we can just giving the command that ls, we are giving the command ls, and therefore, or we are giving a command like cat f1, so that we are going to display the contents of f1. That's what we are doing. But internally what happens, whenever we are going to access the file f1, it will search for the inode number of that f1 file. So once the inode number is mapped with f1 name, then only it is going to display. That all the things are happening internally which we don't understand. So the system will execute that. So here what we need to understand is, whenever you create a file, that means you are going to create a file. That means the two things you need to remember, that two things will be assigned to that file. One is the file name which we are giving, and the other one is the inode number to that file, which is the system is assigning. We are not going to assign the inode number. The system will automatically assign an inode number for every file which is created. Okay, I is nothing but identification. You can remember it as simple as identification node or identification number. Every file will have that the thing happens. Okay, so as I said, because we can access the files which are deleted by using hard links, how it will happen is that file is, because that file say F1, I'm going to create by a link to F1 by using a simple ln command, which is a hard link. So whenever I'm using a ln command to create a link to F1, a link will be created, and whatever the links which are created to F1 will be assigned with the same inode number. When the file F1 is created, it will be assigned an inode number. The same inode number will be assigned to the links which are created to F1 too. That is the important thing here. So that's why even though the file F1 you can delete, even though if F1 is deleted, the links which are already created, by using those links, because they are having the same inode number, we can access the file. Still we can access the file. That is the thing we need to understand here, right? So what is an inode number? We will discuss what is inodes. So an inode number is a uniquely existing number for all the files in Unix. So every file in Unix will have an inode number which are unique. So each file will have a separate inode number. No two files will match their inode numbers. That is the important thing. So when a file is created on a system, a file name and inode number is assigned to it. As I have said earlier, every file whenever it is created, it will be created with a name that's we assign, and an inode number the system will assign to that file. Okay. So generally to access a file, a user uses the file name, but internally file names is first mapped with the respect to inode numbers stored in a table. So there will the system will maintain a separate table. So each table, the table will contain two things. One is the file name, other one is the inode numbers. So every file will have an inode number, and system will matches the inode numbers with every file. Then only it will display the contents of that file. So how to check whether the inode number of a file? You can also check the inode number of a file by using a simple ls minus ld command. Okay, so ls minus ld followed by file name, you will get whatever the number you get. It is nothing but the number, inode number of that file. That is the thing you need to remember. And inode number is nothing but a metadata. Metadata is nothing but data in data. Metadata is, what is metadata? Metadata is nothing but a data in data. That means it will contain some information of every file. What is those informations it will contain? So these are the things it will contain. So inode number or inode will contains the total information of a file. Whatever the information, what is that information? It contains the user ID of a file. So as I said, a file will be created by a user. So every user will have an ID, for that means username. So the username will be there, the group name will be there. So every user will belongs to some group, and it will also contain that group name. And device ID, what is device ID? Where the file is created, the system number is nothing but the device ID it will contains. And it also contains the file size. So how many bytes of is the size of the file, something like that. And date of creation when the file is created. Permissions of the file. So if the file is having what type of permissions, as we have discussed in the previous class, every file will have some permissions, like three groups are there, like user group and others. So everyone will have a separate permissions. Those are all the information it contains. And owner of the file. Owner of the file means, if at all a file can be created by one person, and that person can change its ownership. So who is the current owner? It also contains that information. And file protection flag. So file protection flag means, if a file is protected from a flag, that means you cannot change its file permissions. So if the flag is set, that means you cannot change. If the flag is reset, that means if it is 0, you can set the permissions whatever you want. So this is the again simple information. A file can be secured, like giving a flag, and no one can change its permissions. As we know that we can change the file permissions, but if the file is set like flag protected with a flag, that means you cannot change it, right? Similarly, link counter to determine number of hard links. Link counter means how many links are there for that file. It will count, it will holds the number of links that the file will have. That is hard links, how many hard links it will have, that type of information it contains. Okay, so this is the concepts we have discussed today, and I will be available for the next 15-20 minutes on live. So you can post any, like doubts if you have, or any suggestions on the uh, class. If you want any type of modifications or any something else, if you want, you can also suggest me. And shortly I'm going to give you the PDF format, I mean lecture notes of this classes till now. So I will be available for the next 15-20 minutes. Please keep posting your doubts or suggestions. Okay, thank you.